to earlier in the locker room. She's very high on this match. She's extremely competitive. She feels good, and she's playing great tennis. She's going to go out there and be aggressive, put some pressure on Steffi Graf. If Steffi plays too well, she's going to say too good, but she's going to go out there to win.
Now, Zina with a terrific year last year, and I would imagine that a win over Steffi Graf today makes 1989 pretty special.
It would make it very special for her. That's exactly what she's looking for. She's ranked number 6, playing very, very well. She defeated Terry Phelps in the first round and then went on to defeat San Diego Gretchen Majors, and then last night Tazier. So she's set for today's match against Steffi.
I guess Tazier said last night that she feels Zina has a chance. If she's perfect, she will have to be against Steffi Graf. Steffi has been perfect this week.
Exactly, and here we have Steffi warming up for the match, and she is playing some great tennis and defeating everybody handily. But I think Zina's going to give her a little bit more of a worry. Here's how she got to the finals, beating Nagelson in the first round, Kolja Kilsch in the second round, and just yesterday, Bettina Bunge for the finals today.
Well, we're looking forward to a good one. Again, when you have number 1 playing number 2, you expect some great tennis. You stay with us. We'll be back for the beginning of the match after we take this timeout. Moments away from the start of the match, we saw Bettina Bunge against Steffi Graf yesterday. Obviously, Zina Garrison had that. Are there some things she can learn from that match? She says she has to be totally aggressive in this one.
Well, I think certainly she can learn from the match. Also, the fact that Zina has played Steffi most recently in Washington about 3 months ago, where she lost to her in 2 sets. I think Zina is going to concentrate on being aggressive, going up to net, trying to serve and volley, really pressing Steffi to hit past her, and that is really not her style of play. Zina's style of play is ground stroking, staying in the backcourt, rallying, but I think she realizes in order to beat Steffi, you have got to go up to net, and I think this is her game plan. That's exactly what she told me she's going to do. She doesn't care whether she gets past. She's just going to go for broke.
I think last night Natalie Toziot said afterwards that she thought Garrison could be competitive if she doesn't make any mistakes. In other words, she has to play the perfect game. Can you play a perfect game against someone like Graf?
Well, I don't think you can play a perfect game. I mean, you're going to have errors. The whole idea is that you've got to stick to a game plan that is a winning game plan. And the winning game plan that Garrison wants to stick to is to go up to net when she has the occasion, press Steffi, not to hang back on the court and give her enough time to get groove. So she's going to really think about her first serves, trying to get her first serves in, which was really the difference with Bettina Bunge. Anytime she got her first serve in, she put pressure on Graf, and she was able to win the points a lot easier. So she's got her work cut out, Zina, and I think as far as her spirit and her feeling, she is a great competitor. She always goes out there and tries her best, and she's a tough player to beat.
1 minute.
I think one of the other quotes, she said that she's going to have to jump on the second serve of Steffi Graf. She said, even if I get past 99 times coming in, I've still got to be aggressive coming off that second serve.
Well, Zina's known for some fabulous ground strokes, so I think that Steffi's going to be thinking a little bit about that. If she doesn't get her first serve in, she knows that Zina's going to go for the shot. She's not just going to get the ball back. She's going to move on it, and you know, which is a little bit different from what Steffi has been experiencing going through her matches very easily. Zina is a good, solid number 6, and she is out there. She's not going to give her the match.
I think we alluded to it yesterday. Was it important for Steffi Graf to be pushed somewhat by Bettina Bunge? And Steffi said afterwards it was maybe the most important match of the week for her because she was at least extended, and she had to work a little harder. Forced to over an hour. The other matches had been ending around 40 minutes.
Well, I don't believe that she was extended that much. She had a couple good rallies, but mentally she knew she really had the match won even before she stepped on the court. And I feel with Zina Garrison, it's a whole different ballgame here. This is her first real, true challenge.
But yesterday, the one thing that happened, Bungie found herself down right off the bat, losing 6-1. She wasn't competitive in the first set. Does Garrison, in her state of mind, have to feel that even if she lost that first set, it better be a 6-4, 6-3 or something where she's a little more competitive in the match?
Well, she's never out of the match. That's one thing with Zina Garrison. She's just never out of the match. She could be down a set, but it doesn't matter. Now we're getting ready to start, and obviously Zina Garrison won the toss, and will be serving from the south side of the stand.
And here we go. Number 1 versus number 2. And the first point to Zina Garrison. Again, just great conditions for tennis. Sun out, a little bit of a breeze. I don't think the weather or the wind is any type of a factor here today.
And the stands are full.
All.
I think they have to be pleased with the attendance this week. Major League Tennis back in San Diego. Major League purse.
15:30.
And the fans have responded, and I think it's a good sign for tennis, women's tennis here in San Diego, that this can be counted on as being a major stop now in the future.
Definitely. Great passing shot by Steffi Graf already. Zina is down 15-40. Unfortunately, an untimely double fault there. And right behind the 8 ball once again.
Well, the thing about Garrison is she's been quoted as saying, "I am not afraid of anyone, never have been, never will be." So at least from that standpoint, she's not psyched out coming into the match. She feels she can win it.
That's the difference there. Like 2 first serves, 3 first serves. Every time she served that first serve in, she has won the point. So she knows what she has to do. It's a matter whether she can maintain that.
Again, you're right. First serve is paying dividends.
Advantage Garrison.
And that's the famous Steffi Graf forehand.
Similar to what we saw yesterday, there were times where Bungie looked like she was going to break through, and Graf just seems to be able to take that momentum away with one shot.
Here we have a replay of the forehand passing shot. Back live.
Just missing. So now the advantage goes to Steffi Graf. First game to Steffi Graf. It's a position she's enjoyed all week long, has never trailed at any point. We're going to be back with more action right now. Let's take this time out. We've been Racket Club. Graf leading 1 game love. First set just underway.
And that's a perfect example of Zina taking of a short ball coming up to net and forcing an error from Steffi.
Nice point, Zina Garrison. Well, she says she is a very strong player. No one is going to overpower her.
Love 30.
Well, Zina can stay with her from the backcourt. She has got some sound ground strokes and great mobility. Great shot from the winning running forehand by Zina Garrison. And that's the kind of moving she's going to have to do in order to win this match. And here we have extending the volley, Graf, and a great running shot by Zina.
First serve.
So Zina very close to evening this match up.
Seemed to run right into that backhand of Steffi Graf, but she had the court open and still has 2 chances for the break back.
Does Graf show much emotion either way?
None whatsoever. She's very quiet, plays with a very, very fast pace. And there's the break that Zina Garrison feels good about. Got it back. Now they are tied at 1-all in the first set. That must be the first break of the whole tournament for Steffi Graf. So it's important for Zina to keep this match close, very close, and this is an indication, I think, of what Graf doesn't really want to see, maybe, but is going to see.
Love 15.
Garrison just missing. Was not the match yesterday, the Bungie Graf match, even at 1, and then Steffi just pulled away from there.
That's correct.
Same situation.
Same situation. So the first couple games are very, very crucial. Obviously, Graf plays a very tight 3-4 first games, and when she's out in front, she's hard to catch. Good second serve right into the body of Steffi Graf, and Zina did say that she was going to take a lot more chances on her second serve, that she was going for more, and she was going to serve down the tee. She spoke to her coach for the week, Angelo, and they discussed that type of a strategy with big second serves.
It almost seems that's a good strategy, because if you give up on that second serve, it looks like Graf's going to take advantage of you. You might as well go for it and try and create something with a little more power on that second serve.
That's exactly correct. It may come up with a couple more double faults, but on the whole, she seems to be serving fairly well.
30-all.
Phenomenal win string so far for Steffi Graf. The last 135 matches, 131-4.
Very impressive.
Talk about dynasties.
Yes, very impressive.
Very close call, but Graf did not seem to react to it.
40-30.
And there's the answer back from Steffi Graf.
Deuce.
And the match is a deuce.
Gave her a little bit too much room there. Zina having a little bit of problem putting that ball away because she can't give her too many chances. Eventually Graf is going to put the ball away, which she did in this particular forehand down the line. She comes back up to net, and same shot for the break.
Well, Steffi Graf now in the first set goes up 2-1. We'll have more action from the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club, so don't go away. We'll be back after this word.
Stick to the main overall strategy, and that's being aggressive. There's Zina with a put-away forehand volley.
Graf missing with the first serve. Well, Garrison said she'll attack the second serve.
And the ball just long, and a little bit of a surprise from Graf, a little bit of a stare there, and Zina also, I think, was surprised. Kind of a fast call.
Yeah, and a little reaction. We heard a few whistles coming up, so a few people did not agree with it.
And a deuce. Clenching her left fist. She is definitely up for this match. There's the backhand slice, both of them employing backhand slice, and she comes in for an angle and a winner. Graf and just serving.
Boy, it is always easy to get up when you're going after the king pin, isn't it? I mean, you don't need much more motivation than that. And you can see that the fire in her eyes at points. So she's talking to herself at this point.
She didn't like that choice of shot. She felt that she really hit a bad approach, a little bit too short, giving Graf really the open court. She couldn't have covered that on a volley, so she's not happy with that one, but let's see if she can change it.
Recovery.
Very good recovery.
And she gets the point.
She managed to get out of that one because she was a little bit slow in going up to net, and she knew it, and she should have been up a little bit sooner here, but managed to still win the point. That's 2 breaks in the first set.
And she pulls even at 2-all. And again, kind of territory that Graf hasn't seen so far in this tournament. Bungie had won 2 games off of it.
It is not quite making the net, and Zina Garrison tying it up at 2-all. And you could see that she's restless and hyped. She definitely wants to hold that serve. Let's see whether she can do that. It's a good return by Steffi, and Zina being caught by the service line. She wants to get up there a little bit closer to the net. So.
15-all.
Well, she is staying with her early, and perhaps that is the key to this match. It's something that no one else has been able to do so far in the tournament. Keep the pressure on Graf, stay with her.
Well, Zina's strong from the backcourt, and I think that's very important, that Graf has not made outright winners, and Zina has been able to keep with her and move along and press her the way she's been wanting to do. And that's a great volley.
Nicely done.
Put away. good first serve, very important, and she knows it, and that's what she wants to keep to. Here we go. Zina up the net, and the easy put away here by her backhand. See Steffi Graf giving her more of the forehand, and this is where Garrison is thinking about hitting more to the forehand down the tee, and gotten errors. Instead of hitting safely to her, she wants to draw her to that forehand side a little bit more.
We're even at 2 first set. Garrison close to taking the lead.
A little bit breezy up there.
So the point to Zina Garrison. She forges ahead. 3-2 in the first set. We'll be back with more action from the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club, so don't go away. Steffi Graf finds herself trailing.
And from our statistician, Mary, we have first serves for Garrison 83% and Graf only 66%, which she was down yesterday against Bungie as well. And I think, Mike, the difference with Zina Garrison and not getting your first serves in. Oh, what a shot. She could not get her racket back up, and it tipped the net. Wasn't able to make a play on that. Here we have Graf right on top of that net, and just Zina not being able to make the play on that.
Those are the kind you kind of want back another shot at him. Looks like it was there for her.
30 love.
Very quickly, if you talk about momentum now, Graf down, but now she's close to evening the match up.
Plus, she has a good tailwind behind her that certainly speeds up that serve.
40 love.
And that's the difference between someone on her level, Steffi Graf, being able to take advantage of a bad situation and tying up the score. That's what she wants to do. She doesn't want to give Zina the feeling or the idea that she can win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you talk about a lot of it being mental, she doesn't want to put Garrison in that state of mind then that you can win this.
40-15.
And that's the first double fault for Steffi Graf. Zina has one as well, but on the whole, both of them serving fairly well. But the difference is that the second serve for Steffi Graf is being played extremely well by Zina Garrison, getting everything back and pressing her, and I think that is why we're having so many breaks. That works. Didn't look great, but as I said earlier, a short shot because you got Steffi Graf here behind the baseline.
In other words, take advantage of what Graf's going to give you.
Right, there it is, short forehand volley.
Good.
Garrison down in this game, but now quickly has come back to deuce.
She grabbed a hold of that forehand and went for it.
Garrison.
And that is what we're going to see from Garrison, taking advantage of anything that Steffi Graf may give her.
Game Garrison, as she goes up now 4 games to 2.
Sudden gasp from the crowd. I think they're very surprised, but as we mentioned earlier, Zina is a great competitor. She is really up for this match. She is playing good tennis. She has had great results, and watch out, Steffi. That was a wonderful rally using most of the court. Great get by Steffi Graf there on the forehand from the volley of Zina, which would have been a put away for anybody else, but that was wonderful. There it is.
If you have just joined us, we're on the first set. Garrison leading Graf 4 games to 2, and that probably will come as a surprise to some, but not the way Zina Garrison's been playing.
15 all.
Bettina Bunge had an interesting comment. She said with Graf, people don't expect her to win. They expect her to win easily, and she said that's got to be a lot of pressure on someone, that you have to go out and blow someone off the court every time.
Well, I guess it's a matter of how you win, and certainly this week, Steffi has gone through everybody very, very quickly, and so her competition hasn't been the best, and I don't think that worries Steffi at all, and she doesn't concern herself about how the pressure is. She likes pressure. That's what makes her good, she says, and I believe that.
Question to elaborate on that, is the pressure different from someone 17 or 18 as opposed to someone 26 or 27? Do you change in your philosophy, your thinking?
Well, when you're younger, obviously it's great because it's new and you don't have anything to lose and you're playing the best, and you know, you're looking for an upset. You're the underdog, so people are going to root for you. But when you're up there and you have to win, it's a little bit different. Oh, what a great shot. And then Zina signaling to the lines person on the alley side. She is not happy with the call at all. She feels that the ball was wide, and let's see if we can see that shot where Steffi comes up with the volley and hits the corner. From up here, it looked good, but I'm much too far.
Well, the official was very quick with the call. He was not hesitant. He made the call as it happened.
And that's all a player cares about, if at least he's decisive. Now, second serve, a chance for Steffi Graf to break back.
Oh, beautiful shot.
Graf.
And Graf picks up the game. She is down 4-3. First set. We'll be back after this timeout.
Garrison leads 4-3.
Boy, another great point. We are seeing some great action here today. Because if you had said Garrison is giving her a match, something that hasn't happened for Steffi so far, we're seeing some great volleys.
15 love.
Zina in her waiting stance with her left arm way out in front, her racket out in front. And here she comes up to net. And backhand for a winner, and that's what she's got to do. She just cannot give Steffi Graf a chance for that passing shot. Stretch for a forehand ball, and then here she has that court and goes for the opening.
As I mentioned earlier, she said, I may get past, but I've got to come in and take the chance.
Graf ventures up to net.
You can almost sense as this goes on, too, that Garrison is starting to get more and more people in her court. I think there is the tendency to pull for the underdog, but you know that Graf has got the fans.
And there it is, a chance for, here we have Zina with a down the line passing shot, just beautiful.
Not much you can do about that one.
No, Graf taking advantage of her good approach, taking Zina way off court, and then being able to put that ball away. But Zina still staying true to her plan, taking advantage anytime she can of a short ball. A little bit too much.
It's interesting because Zina has made no secret about what she's going to do. You take other sports like football, one coach is not going to tell the other coach what his game plan is.
Well, I don't think she told Steffi Graf, but I think Steffi knows what Zina's capable of doing, and they have played 4 times before, with Zina winning once and the other 3 times going to Steffi Graf.
Should be pointed out that the Garrison victory, I think Graf was 15 at the time and just beginning.
Advantage Graf.
Would Zina like that one back?
She liked that one back. She knew that she really had to put away one way or the other, but she put it in the net, so that was not the right choice. Advantage Graf after being down 15-40. She has a chance to tie up the score at 4-all. Well, had the whole court open there, popped up that backhand volley, and Steffi had the whole court to make this winning backhand down the line. Score is tied up at 4-all. Some great tennis. Zina Garrison on the south side with a little bit of a tailwind behind her. Graf toweling off in the back there.
Left.
Garrison, kind of a very special individual. I understand that a lot of her spare time, she gives motivational talks to kids, goes to schools and talks. Tells a lot about the quality of the person, and I'm sure that carries over to her game on the court.
That's right. She comes from a family of 7 and from the public parks, and she really would like to see more blacks playing the game, and will do anything to assist in that way. Great gal. Really nice girl. And that serve going right into Steffi Graf, and Graf not being able to get out of her way so far. Graf has had 10 errors in her backhand, and has been unable to return off that side as successfully as her forehand. A little bit too anxious. I see Zina coming up a little bit too soon, maybe. Should pick her spot a little bit better, because she's coming in a little bit late and on a tough shot rather than a shorter one, so she's got to be a little bit more careful on what she comes in. The wind carries that one wide. Great backhand lob
30-40.
from Steffi, and once again, Zina finds herself in a difficult situation for a break point here.
Talked about her being aggressive. Can it be something she has to be careful of, though? Can Graf turn that and use it against her?
Oh, definitely, yeah. If she comes up on weak shots, and we have Steffi Graf putting up her hand, not quite ready for the serve. Ball boy back here was in the way. Second serves. Zina. Double call.
So Graf now goes up 5 games to 4. We're going to be back from the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club with more action from the finals of the Great American Bank Classic, so don't go away. Leading 4-2, now finds herself down 5-4, and I guess the mark of a true champion, when you put the pressure on, the great players respond, and Steffi has certainly done that.
That's what it's all about. Unfortunate for Zina Garrison, who was in a situation where she was serving for 5-2, and now she's down a break, and Graf looking for the first set.
A few oohs and ahs on the fault call. I think everyone here is an official at one time or another. 5,000 pairs of eyes.
And a slight mishit from
not a
Steffi.
characteristic shot from her.
Well, she does that often, though, because she has so much topspin on the ball, and her racket moves through the ball very, very fast. On occasion, she will mishit some balls.
Love 40.
Interesting. Here we have love 43 break points for Zina Garrison to get right back into the match. And that's kind of the way things have been going with this first set. 3 breaks so far. And Graf, I don't think, very happy with this situation. And I don't know whether the wind has anything to do with it, but there is a slight wind, and Graf with such a high toss. There's the winner. And exactly what I mentioned earlier, I think Zina has got to take her time a little bit more. She's pressing a little bit too much right here. She comes right in and gives the whole side of that court to Steffi Graf for a forehand winner. And Steffi is unhappy with that call, questioning it from the middle service line. Zina, unperturbed, keeping her concentration.
You don't seem to see as much of that, though, with the women as you do the men, questioning the calls or the outbursts. It's the makeup of the game, the temperament of the players?
I think temperament of the players. I think the women are a little bit more low-keyed, and certainly most of them are pretty good sports. And Zina's pressing a little bit too much here. We've seen her try and take advantage of those 2-second serves, but I think she's just has to lay back a little bit and wait for her chances.
Like she got Zina just moving a little bit the wrong way. It looks like Zina might have been anticipating a shot to the other side and got her just a bit off balance.
Yeah.
There it is, the winner from Steffi Graf, just coming up and putting it right back to Zina's feet. Execution. Yep. Steffi didn't have to hit a great shot, but Zina was totally off position. She had moved in, which she should have put this ball away, and there's the whole opening of the court, and that is what she has been experiencing. She's just not executing as well as she'd like to. She's got to put those balls away.
Set point.
Game in first set, draw 6-4.
6-4, Steffi Graf on the first set. As she comes back, it was love 40, wasn't it?
Love 40, and Zina was looking for that break back. Very, very important. Obviously, it cost her the first set. Zina's got to be a little bit disappointed, but I think that she is playing some winning tennis. She has got to forget about the first set and think about the second set.
Love 15.
Well, there's something you talked about earlier, that you can't really give the opening to someone like Graf, and Garrison at 2 points during the first set with an opportunity to take command, and she let Graf off the hook.
That's correct.
Is it as much as that, or Graf takes herself off the hook just by her superior play?
Well, in this particular instance, I really think that Zina rushed herself right out of that game because she tried to move in a little bit too fast on those serves, and it was a second serve. Perhaps she should have hit it or just got it in play and waited for a better opportunity to advance to the net. Nonetheless, Graf made the points. She made the winners. She had the chance. She took advantage of that chance.
Graf, a phenomenal year last year, said that she wants to prove in '89 that '88 was no fluke. I'd say she's doing it. Nicely done by Zina Garrison.
30-15.
Here we have Graf advancing to the net. Zina backhand cross-court passing shot for a winner.
Well, Garrison gets there, but then goes long.
Exactly, but she keeps getting her down the line. Graf keeps threading that needle down the line and stretching Zina into a situation where she can't make that volley. So she's got to be aware of the fact that Graf is picking on that forehand down the line, and Zina is not covering it enough.
30-40.
You know, that's another thing about individual sports. You don't have the coach out there pointing those things out to you as you're going. You are on your own. And
that's why you have to learn from your videos when you see them. Talk it over with the coach and see where you can change your strategy or shots to improve your game. And I'm sure Zina will be doing that.
how much of this game is mental, how much is physical, if you break it down on the quality players?
Well, I would say the majority is mental, and probably about 75% mental, I think, or 80%. The other part is physical. Obviously, it is terrific if you're an athlete like Zina as well as Steffi Graf. It makes life a lot easier. And she's keeping those passing shots very, very low. Steffi Graf just barely going over the top of the net, and that's what makes volleying difficult. And I don't think that Zina is extremely comfortable in the volley game, but she's capable of volleying, but that's a tough one to do.
So in the second set, Steffi Graf goes up 1-love. We'll be back after this timeout with more from the Great American Bank Classic.
A bit too fast, not really picking her moments that well.
Graf gets there, but it
She
just
gets
goes
there.
long.
Yes, exactly. But Zina comes up with a nice little
Quad, please.
touch backhand slice, which is under that net and a lot tougher to volley.
Steffi Graf, coming off the win at Wimbledon, has been off until this tournament. He's getting ready for the U.S. Open.
And that's the down the line that Steffi Graf has been able to make time after time, so that Zina really has got, here she goes with the backhand cross court. She's not taking care of that part of the court. She's got to really cover that side of the court a little bit better.
40-30.
She says she feels a lot stronger now than she did at Wimbledon, which must make some of the opponents feel good going into the U.S. Open if she's stronger now than she was a couple of weeks ago when she won an impressive style.
I'll have to ask her why. She played very well at Wimbledon and naturally defeating Martina in 3 sets. I think that was one of her toughest matches, psychologically as well as physically.
Yes.
And once again, Zina chooses to attack that backhand constantly, and I'm a little bit surprised. She was on top of that one. She was definitely ready for that forehand down the line and covered that side very, very well. So she gets the break point, Zina, and Steffi Graf is under the 8 ball this time.
Garrison with an opportunity to pull even in the second set.
Both players using the whole court now, and then Zina Garrison with a winning forehand volley.
Perhaps her best point of the match.
I agree. They both were covering a lot of court in the back, and here we have Zina running up to that net, and she'll extend for that forehand winning shot. And I think what's interesting is that when she gives herself a chance to play a little bit on the back court and move Steffi around as well, and then advance the net, she's in a better position. She catches Steffi by surprise, but when she does it too quickly, Steffi's there watching her and gives her the 1-2.
Love.
A little bit wild on that forehand that time. Looked like one of mine. First serve percentages in the first set, Graf 64 and Garrison 74, still better than Steffi's.
30 love.
And they're pretty close in the winners, 15 for Graf, 10 for Garrison, and the errors are very close, 18 for Graf and 19 for Garrison. So they're pretty even, and the score shows that, really. Pretty even match.
Ladies playing for $200,000 in prize money, $40,000 to the winner here today. Not a bad week's work.
No, not at all. And Zina electing to hit almost a topspin volley. She had so much time. Swinging forehand volley here, and just before it came over the net.
20-30.
Hope that you're enjoying the coverage on KUSI. Semifinals action yesterday, the finals here today on Channel 51, your Padre station for San Diego. Great doubleheader today, Padre baseball and the best in women's tennis.
Garrison.
So Garrison with the game. Goes up 2-1 in the second set. And we'll be back to find out just how it goes from here after we take this time out. Don't go away. There's more to come. The Great American Bank Classic. Taking charge early. Built up a 4-2 lead at that point. She leads it now 2-1. See whether or not Graf can come back and turn it around here like she did in the first set. Just wide by what, couple inches maybe?
By a hair, I think. Zina's still attacking, sticking to her game plan, and from that point of view, I think she's been very correct in doing so, and she figures she's going to win some, she's going to lose some, but that's the game plan she has decided to play. And I think it's been paying off. She just needs to make sure once she gets ahead that she stays ahead.
Love 30.
Do some players play better from the front or coming from behind?
There are players that play better from behind, and those that don't like to be ahead and prefer to have an even match. I think I've seen Zina play extremely well from behind, and such as Graf as well. So I think both of them are capable of playing well from the front, with the exception that the first set, Zina felt, I think, a little bit of the pressure and did not take advantage of her breaks and her lead of 4-2.
Well, she had the shot there, but just missed it by a foot or two because she looked like she had Steffi pulled to the right with no opportunity to get back for the shot.
Right, she just got it a little bit late and couldn't get her body out of the way. But I think she's a little uncomfortable playing up at net, but she would be a little bit more comfortable back on the baseline, but she knows that she's got to get up to net, and it's only going to get better. She's doing the right things.
30-40.
Graf, as we had mentioned, 56-2 so far in 1989.
Well, she was there. She
Advantage Garrison.
guessed where Zina was going with that cross-court forehand, but she was unable to make that forehand volley Graf, which gives Zina another break point. Let's see if she goes up to net on this one. Zina Garrison. Good second serve. Beautiful splits by Zina and picks herself right up. Great athlete.
Yeah, I think that's something you can say about both of these young ladies. Great
right
athletes.
To the forehand and not quite there. Have a seat. This time Steffi Graf advances. And And her shoe comes off, and Zina Garrison with an overhead and a volley, and she goes back to pick up her shoe. Here's the overhead, and tries to move for that forehand volley, and you see in the middle of the court her tennis shoe, and now she is taking a seat and putting on her shoe. That is a little bit frustrating. She had a chance there to win that point, but Steffi Graf.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, yes, that happens. She's so fast, she comes right out of her shoes.
Oh.
And great hustle by Zina Garrison, just putting that forehand in the corner and catching Steffi Graf by surprise. And
Steffi
right there, she's ready to step on it. She's right back in the corner there.
Steffi just shook her head in disbelief.
Lots of court coverage by Zina. She's very, very fast, and Steffi wrong footing her, just really taking advantage of that short shot.
How much does that come into play as we go on? Zina's had to run a lot more than Steffi. Does the fatigue factor get in?
Well, I say that she's in pretty good shape. Zina's in pretty good shape, so I think she can deal with this. Although when you're in a match, you know, the nerves and everything, you have a tendency of probably getting a little bit more tired.
Yes.
Here's the lob, a little bit short from Steffi Graf, and Zina, goodbye. You can hear both of them, their footwork, and hear that little squeaking of their feet, and both of them are doing lots of footwork there.
Just another outstanding point.
Well, if she's not getting tired, I am. That was a great point, and Steffi with the lob. Zina, a big put away.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, please be as quiet as you can during the playing of the point. Thank you.
Head umpire Joan cautioning the crowd to please keep quiet, but that was so exciting.
It seems to me in a point like that, it's difficult to keep quiet.
I think the players want to hear it. Zina definitely earning this ad, because she is working hard for this game, and it's 2-1 for Garrison, so it's very important for her to get that lead with Steffi Graf.
You can hear Garrison working for every point now. Just everything she has, I think she's putting into each shot.
She's also hitting against the wind, so that is a little bit tougher. It'll take a little bit more out of you because the ball's traveling a little bit faster. You have to hit a little bit harder. And Graf is pounding that ball. set herself up very well on that shot, just executing a nice backhand lob over Steffi, who hits the backhand and leaves that court open, unable to retrieve the forehand.
Garrison, so she goes up 3-1.
Well, that's exactly what Zina wants to do. She worked hard for that game, and if she can maintain that lead and apply that pressure, we might be looking at a third set. And Steffi is going to do her darnest to try and get this break back. She is on the south side with the wind at her back, so Zina will be serving against the wind. And
well, Steffi went over between the points now, came up with a new racket. Is it perhaps she didn't like the feel of the other one, or is this one perhaps a bit different? Why would Claire change?
Well, maybe the strings have gone a little bit dead. I saw her practicing earlier, and she had one racket in the back and trying both of them out. I don't know, they could be brand new string job or brand new racket, and she's trying to debate what feels good right now. Most players stick to their favorite racket and get it restrung till it's not any good anymore and move on to another one, and then you get somebody. Great shot by Garrison, somebody like Lendl who uses a different racket every set. Brand new racket. He just takes the cellophane off them and brand new racket. Forehand down the line for winner.
If you are just joining us, Graf with the first set 6-4. Garrison, we don't want to say in control in the second match at 3-1 because she was up 3-1, 4-2 in the first set and lost. But she is in the position of having the advantage. Let's see if she can hold it. Again, it looks like it's almost a direct, what's the word I want, comparison of the first match.
Exactly like the first match.
First set's good.
Let's see if she can correct that one, and that doesn't plague her mind at this point. Zina seems to be getting those serves right into Steffi's backhand, according to our stats here. 13 errors from Steffi Graf's backhand.
So Garrison goes up 4-1 on the second set. We'll be back with more from the Great American Bank Classic after we take this time out.
Garrison lead.
Give me your hand, dear.
Have you noticed the world wasn't made for kids? Big people barely see us.
Sorry.
Well, this one has turned into just some super tennis. Graf winning 6-4 first set, with Garrison with an opportunity to win that first set. Now she has come back and has a commanding 4-1 lead in the second set. But as we alluded to earlier, Graf was in this position. Well, this one has turned into just some super tennis. Graf winning 6-4 first set, with Garrison with an opportunity to win that first set. Now she has come back and has a commanding 4-1 lead in the second set. But as we alluded to earlier, Graf was in this position in the first set and came back.
That's correct, Mark. And everything is important from this point on with Garrison. She knows that she's got to win every game because you can't afford to give Steffi Graf an inch to get herself back into the match. So
certainly a good way to start it. Are there certain points, Rosie, that you just concede? I mean, on that point, obviously, Zina with no opportunity to get to the ball. You say, well, I got myself in a position. Nothing I can do about
Exactly.
it.
She was still finishing her shot while Graf was putting that ball away. So, yeah, she realized that she really didn't have a play on it. And a fault call. Crowds are not happy, and Steffi likewise.
Well, she gave up a point yesterday against Bunky.
Right, but I don't think she was down 4-1.
In other words, it's a little easier to be generous when you're up 5-1 instead of down 4-1.
I think so. And Zina not quite getting under that ball to get it over the net. And there would have been a tremendous hustle, but unfortunately the choice of shots that Zina implemented here with a backhand cross-court left her for no chance to covering that down the line by Steffi Graf. So if she could have possibly volleyed to the open court versus back to Graf, she would have been in a better position. A little bit too much over that baseline, and Graf wins a quick game, and
So she brings it back to 4-2.
let's see if she could stay in front. And I really think it's important for Zina to stay aggressive, but not to press too much and not to try and get the point over too fast. And I think that's what she did the last time she was up and serving for the 5-2 lead, and also 15-40 on Graf serve. So she's got to just be careful, take her time.
Well, from this point, the first set, Graf ran off 4 straight games to win it.
Love 15.
Yeah, we talked about Graf getting ready for the U.S. Open. This also has to be a great confidence builder for Garrison, regardless of the outcome. She has been with Steffi the entire way. This has got to put her in a good position, a good feeling as she gets ready for the Open.
And it's always nice to get to the finals of a tournament and playing well, and she has been playing well. And again, Mike, her choice of shots and wanting to go up to net has been continually hitting to Graf's backhand and leaving that down the line open, and I think she should reverse that a little bit. She talked about coming up to net and hitting down the middle rather than corner to corner, and she has not been doing that.
15.
Well, she doesn't do that. Her choice or what Graf is giving her?
Well, it's her choice, because I think she can come in on a ball down the line or down the middle versus the short cross court that she seems to like to hit. And I don't know whether she's aware of the fact that she's doing it a little bit too much, and that Graf is picking up on that and passing her down the line. So this is something her coach can bring up at a later time when they discuss this match. 2 double faults, and
Yeah, and a little frustration showing in Garrison's face. She looks disgusted with herself at that point.
well, she knows that she's pretty much in the same place she was in the first set, and she's doing exactly the same thing, giving this game away.
30-40. Game Graf.
So Graf comes back now as she draws a game closer. Garrison leads at 4-3. We'll be back with more action after a commercial timeout. Both players playing some marvelous tennis, but at this point, Rosie, it looks like in terms of pressure, Steffi is handling it much better than Zina.
That's what she's all about. Steffi Graf loves pressure. She enjoys it, and she's good, and she's dealing with it right now. She wants to take control of this match that has managed to slip away from her a little bit, but she's still going for her shots and playing her winning game.
Garrison has something left.
This time, Garrison puts that ball away. Graf with the backhand, and here's the extension on Garrison. Great point.
$15-all.
Fans here have to be enjoying what they are seeing today. The #1 player in the world and seeing that #1 player being extended.
$30-15.
Steffi just increasing the pace and the whole momentum of the match. She likes to play fast. So.
You mentioned that yesterday. If she gets you on the run, she's just going to attack, 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 keep it up, relentless, keep it moving.
And Zina has a tendency of also falling into that and playing fast herself. And this is the time where she should slow it down a little bit. Make her think.
$40-15.
That approach was right into Steffi Graf's backhand, right down the middle, did not give her the angle that Zina has been giving her in the past. So perhaps Zina will take note of this. But Steffi Graf's playing very, very well, though. Heavy slice from both players.
And the crowd reacting. Down deep, you know they would like to see this go into the third set. They're enjoying themselves.
Yes.
They certainly are, and it's wonderful tennis, beautiful day, slight breeze.
Garrison.
And this time, the down the line goes wide and gives Garrison the opportunity for a break and a lead for 5-3.
I think if you saw Steffi's reaction there, she was not pleased with that shot at all. She opened it up, and Garrison now goes up 5-3, and perhaps maybe this is what Garrison needs, what Zina needs to put her over the top.
Well, we'll see, because every time she's been up a couple games and in a position to continue her lead, she has managed to lose, and Steffi Graf has managed to play better tennis. So let's see whether Steffi could continue and bring up her game so that she can give Zina some problems here.
15 love.
(6-4) Graf on the first set, 5-3. Garrison leads here in the second.
First serve.
Very touch lob from Zina Garrison here. The stretch from Steffi, and nice, easy right over Steffi Graf. She's got no play. She got there, but hit a little bit too much.
30-15.
Looks like Zina's tiring a little bit there.
I was going to say, it looks like Steffi's still much the fresher of the two. Oh, nicely done. And again, no emotion. Graf with a great shot, just simply strolls away, prepared to play the next shot, next point.
Once again, that down the line keeps Steffi Graf
30-40.
right in this game with a break point.
Game Graf.
Game to Graf, so she trails now 5-4. We'll be back with more from the Great American Bank Classic, so don't go away.
Garrison leads 5-4.
The savings start at Save On.
Appeared that maybe Garrison was in position to even the match up. Now suddenly we see it coming back from Steffi Graf.
That's
to
right,
take that
Mike.
momentum away.
Right, we don't know what's going to happen here, but let's have a watch and see with Steffi Graf, seeing if she can tie it up.
It would almost seem
15 love.
that if Garrison is to extend her, she would have to take it right here. If it goes 5-5, it looks like it might be difficult to come back and win the set.
I think so. I agree with you, but we never know.
Love.
Graf getting ready to serve. She's moving quickly. She wants this game. She wants to get right back in there. Beautiful forehand. Nobody home there. Zina still off the court.
40 love.
I think she senses she has Garrison on the ropes, and as you say, let's play the point, let's play the point.
Exactly, right. Going as quickly as she possibly can.
Oh! 40-15.
Well, that brings Graf up to 2 double faults, and first serves 83% in the second set, and Garrison down to 47%, so Graf has improved.
And we're even at 5-all.
Well, let's see what happens here at 5-all.
5-all.
She was 4-all the last time. Didn't come through, and seems to play much better though when they're even, and doesn't seem to feel the pressure. So I think for Steffi Graf, it's been good that she's been down and she's been able to produce, and that's what it's all about. Once again, the passing down the line, she seems to favor that side, and Garrison is really not picking up on that.
all.
Match closing in on about an hour and 45 minutes at this point, and another departure for Graf. It's been easy sailing so far. That I think amounts to about the first 2 or 3 matches for her.
Good first serve by Zina, and that's what she wants to do. She needs to get some more first serves in, and her percentage is down to 47, which is not very good right now.
Well, that was the thing she said after the match with Taziat, that she has to have the first serve working. She has to be getting in with the first serve. And she was successful in the first set, but
yeah, she's
had
gone
problems.
From 74% to 47, and Steffi has gone from 64% in the first set to 83. And once again, another double fault.
Yeah, she's got a total of 7, 2 and 5. As opposed to 1 and 2 for Graf.
Game Graf.
Game to Steffi Graf as she goes up 6 games to 5.
Graf leads 6-5.
And we'll take this break right now from the Great American Bank Classic at the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club. More great action to come, so don't go away. Stay right where you are.
And get a free...
In a bit of a hole because, Rosie, you pointed out something from the south end of the court. Graf is kind of owned this match.
Sir, would you sit down, please? Thank you.
Well, she's serving with the wind, and it's a lot tougher for Zina.
80% serving for
15 love.
That's just the beginning. Graf, no nonsense, taking advantage of that short return. She wants to get off the court.
I think she can sense the end is near, and there's no reason to prolong it in her mind. And
That's
like any
for
great
sure.
champion, the opening is there. She will jump on it.
That's the difference.
30,
That's the
15.
difference between Zina and Steffi. Zina has played great tennis and has been in a position to win, but hasn't taken advantage of it.
She has let the opportunity slip away. And we are to that point.
This is match point. And a winning backhand that gives Steffi Graf a 6-4, 7-5 victory over Zina Garrison.
And the crowd responding. They have seen just some absolutely marvelous tennis here this afternoon. Zina Garrison certainly with the opportunity to win this match, but she let a couple of key opportunities get away, and you can't do that against a player the caliber of Steffi Graf. But I think they enjoyed themselves.
It was a wonderful match. They employed some fabulous ground strokes and volleys, and I think Zina's got to be very happy with herself.
All right, we will, I guess, take a break at this point, and we will be back with the ceremony from courtside and an interview with both of today's participants. So stand by. We'll be right back. All right, let's take it down to courtside. Ted Tingley and Jane Stratton.
On behalf of myself and Raquel Jescafre and all the staff of Promotion Sport, I'd like to thank all of you, the City of San Diego, for your outstanding, enthusiastic support of the Great American Bank Tennis Classic. We've had a wonderful week thanks to all of you. We could not have brought this tournament to San Diego without the great support of Doug Allred and Hank Slade at the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club, all the hard-working volunteers, and of course our sponsors. And one of our most loyal sponsors, of course, is Pontiac, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom King, zone manager from Pontiac.
Thank you, Jane. Well, I want to introduce our runner-up here. I guess that's my duty to do that, Miss Zina Garrison. Such a lovely tournament to play, Zina. I know all of San Diego is very happy to have you here. I'd like to present to Zina this lovely Waterford Crystal Trophy, symbolic of her runner-up position here at the San Diego tournament. Zina. One other important thing. They tell me that they have a check for $18,000 waiting for you, Zina. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the sponsors, Great America Bank and Pontiac for letting us drive the cars this week.
Jane and Raquel, the promoters. I mean, I had a lovely time. I wasn't coming here until about 2 weeks ago, but I'm really happy I came. And most of all, I'd really like to thank all the fans because you guys helped me pull through this tournament. And I'd like to congratulate Steffi for playing so well today. Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce one of San Diego's leading citizens, a man whose enthusiasm for tennis and for our city is well known and greatly appreciated. I'd like to introduce Mr. Gordon Luce, Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board of Great American Bank.
Thank you. On behalf of Great American Bank, it's a real privilege to congratulate this wonderful champion, Steffi Graf. Thank you, Steffi, for coming to San Diego and selecting our
You didn't want to give me the trophy first? First, I want to thank Jane and Raquel for giving me the first day here in San Diego. It's such a joy. I mean, it really helped me out a lot. And as I said, it was the first time, and I'm sure I'm going to come back because I just had a great time. If you guys could have helped me a little bit more today. That's all right. Thank the sponsors, Great American Bank Classic, and also Pontiac. And just like I said, I just hope I'm going to come back and have a great time again. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. John Martin, General Manager of the German National Tourist Office.
I'm very proud and honored to present Steffi Graf with the trophy of the German National Tourist Office. Steffi, you are the ideal ambassador of goodwill for our home country, Germany. And I want to thank you not only for providing a beautiful tennis here this week in San Diego, but also for projecting worldwide a very good and positive image for Germany and the German people. Now, this trophy here, it symbolizes a medieval castle. It stands for Germany, and as you see, it has an open door. So we invite everybody to come to Germany and to meet the German people. We love you Americans over there. Thank you very much. Now, Steffi, if you would be so kind and draw the winner for our trip to Germany and Hamburg. It is sponsored by the German National Tourist Office, Lufthansa, German Airlines, and Kempinski Hotels. It is Monica Enborn from San Diego. Thank you.
You have it, the award ceremony at courtside. Your winner today, Steffi Graf, the runner-up, Zina Garrison. We'll be back after this timeout. Rosie Casals will be courtside to talk with both of today's finalists. All right, let's return. Casals standing by right now with Zina Garrison and Steffi Graf. Rosie?
I have Zina Garrison here with me. Congratulations, tough opponent. I thought you played very well. You stuck to the game plan. You were up the first set, 4-2, chances for 5-2. The same thing in the second set. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think both times I had opportunities, and I still didn't cover the line as much as I should have. I mean, every time that she got a big point, I mean, she basically passed me down the line. She never really got past across court. So I'm going to LA, and I'll just work a little bit harder.
Well, I was very impressed with the way you played. You're the only one that pushed her, and you did have a great opportunity, and you were right, a couple down the line that we saw. And I think you've been playing great tennis, and we look forward to seeing you at the U.S. Open and throughout the rest of the tournaments. Thank you, Zina.
Thank you, Rosie.
And I think we have Steffi Graf. Steffi Graf, congratulations. A victory, another one. The first one after the Wimbledon event, and I understand you had a great time in San Diego, but most of all, everybody's interested in all the matches that you were going through, winning very, very easily. I think this match probably took the longest with Zina Garrison. Is that something that's good for you? Do you like to kill everybody?
No, but it's just I just played so awfully well. It was very difficult to do anything else, and so it's I mean, I can't slow down much more. I just try to play always as good as I can, and just the opponents, I think they have to give me more tougher time, like Zina did today.
Yeah, Zina played very well. What were you thinking about? Finally, you were out there for longer than 45 minutes, and you had to play. You played great tennis to come back. How did that feel?
Well, I think I can play much better than I did today, but the thing was that when it was important I came back. She was leading 4-2 in the first set, as well as leading 5-3 in 30 love in the second set, and the great thing about it was that I always came back and played the good tennis at the right moment.
She tried to come up to net quite a bit. She came up with your backhand, and you seemed to pass her all the time down the line. Did that bother you, having her come up to net?
Well, it's difficult to get into rhythm, really. I mean, if somebody comes in all the time, you just don't have long rallies where you can go for the shots more and get into it. But, you know, it's her tactics. She's playing very aggressive, coming in a lot, and that's the way she has to play.
Well, good. Congratulations, and hopefully you'll return back to San Diego. Thank you. Now we'll go back to Mike up at the booth.
All right.